Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Professor Kindiki Kithure, Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, Excellency Ambassador Sebastian Groth, Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to Kenya, Dr. Stephen Jackson, Resident Coordinator of the UN, Heads of Missions present, Cabinet Secretaries, esteemed Excellency Governors here present, esteemed partners, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Happy New Year to all of you. Allow me to extend my sincere wishes for a prosperous 2026 ahead. It's my honest hope that this year will yield significant progress and fruitful outcomes, even as we work in partnership to realize opportunities that lie ahead. We're here early in the year because we recognize the crucial role of the Development Partnership Forum in strengthening coordination between the national and county governments and development partners for effective development assistance. On behalf of the Council of Governors, I reaffirm our collective and steadfast commitment to enhancing development effectiveness. Our focus remains fixed on the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals, guided by the deliberate alignment of all efforts with county integrated plans. Ladies and gentlemen, county governments are indispensable engines for realizing development at the grassroots level. The Council in turn acts as the vital control system for this engine, coordinating to ensure that optimal utilization of external assistance across our strategic areas like health, agriculture, water, infrastructure, education, climate change, and in particular the impacts of climate change in our counties. Indeed, the success of any development partner-funded program and project is fundamentally contingent on meaningful county engagement, and therefore the critical question is whether counties can drive this agenda. The answer to this, in my view, is an equivocal yes. This conviction echoes our solemn commitment which we made at the 2025 Devolution Conference to deepen collaboration between national and county governments to ensure and promote accountability and transparency. Ladies and gentlemen, we must equally confront a persistent reality. While counties have improved their absorption of official development assistance, significant unrealized potential remains due to enduring systemic challenges. This long-standing discussion must now translate into decisive strategic actions. As a Council, we remain committed to working with all our partners to address identified governance issues and enhance ODA effectiveness, including by streamlining procurement processes and strengthening institutional frameworks. Therefore, the Council challenges this forum to endorse a clear, harmonized framework that enhances direct county government engagement and provides robust capacity support. This framework must streamline coordination, bolster county-level capabilities in finance and project management, and enhance joint accountability. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, allow me at this juncture to present to you the drought situation in our counties, the mitigation measures counties have put in place, and what we need to do collaboratively. A detailed report on ongoing response in counties available for your consumption. The situation in counties, ASAL counties continue to experience worsening drought conditions following consecutive seasons of below average rainfall. We can actually say in most of the ASAL counties, the last season, the short rains, which we usually have between October and December, has completely failed. The poor performance of the recent rainy season has resulted in inadequate inadequate water recharge, deteriorating rangeland conditions, reduced agricultural production, and increasing humanitarian pressure. While ASAL counties are the most affected, spillover effects are increasingly being felt even in non-ASAL counties through rising food prices, water stress, and in many cases, livelihood disruptions. Rainfall received during the last season was, as I said, below average and in many cases severely depressed along the ASAL zones. As a result, the surface runoff water sources have significantly reduced or dried up. Groundwater recharge has declined, increasing borehole downtime and operational costs and distances to water points for households and livestock. The prolonged dry conditions are accelerating pasture depletion and limiting natural regeneration. Crop production has been negatively affected due to moisture stress, with poor harvest reported in both marginal agriculture and mixed farming areas. Staple food prices continue to rise, eroding household purchasing power. Of key concern is the increased reliance on food assistance and market purchases, increased risk of acute malnutrition in many counties, especially among children under 5, and the pregnant and lactating women, and reduced dietary diversity and meal frequency at household level. Livestock body conditions are generally very poor, with declining or completely none, I would say, in some cases, milk production and increased livestock migration in search of pasture and water. And in some of the counties, livestock has actually started perishing. And in some counties in the north today, you can get a goat or a sheep for as little as 500 shillings. Intervention by counties. Counties have activated county drought mitigation and disaster management committees and scaled up early warning and coordination mechanisms. In many counties, there are ongoing interventions that include water tracking, borehole rehabilitation, and protection of strategic water sources. There is counties that are also attempting to do food, livestock feed, supplementation, and food assistance, and targeted social protection for vulnerable households. Many of those counties are also predominantly, inhabited by people of the Muslim faith. Ramadan is fast approaching. It's going to be, the way things look, one of the toughest situations in which to fast in those counties. And we are trying to do our best to prepare some food supplementation during the month of Ramadan as well. Counties continue to work closely with the national government agencies and development partners, faith-based organizations, and humanitarian actors to mitigate the worst impacts. In fact, Your Excellency, had it not been for the interventions we're doing, the situation would have been a lot worse. Despite these ongoing efforts and the responses by both levels of government, we remain constrained by increasing number of households and livestock that requires intervention, and the inadequate financial resources for response. On the urgent actions required to be carried out by both levels of government and partners, we need to increase food and non-food items assistance for vulnerable and affected populations. We need to enhance water supply interventions, water tracking, borehole rehabilitation, and deployment of additional water bowsers to ferry water to distressed communities. Distribution of livestock feed and activation of livestock off-take programs and insurance payments for those that are insured under the index-based livestock insurance schemes nutrition interventions in high burden counties, maintenance and rapid repair of strategic water infrastructure. On policy recommendations and actions, I believe it's actually time to declare this drought a national emergency to help us accelerate resource mobilizations and scale critical interventions. There is need to reactivate county strategic committees. As I said, they're already active on the ground across the affected counties, and those that continue to enter the emergency situation, because these are the formal intergovernmental and multi-sector coordination platforms across our counties for aligning development partner, county governments, and national government intervention. And this will ensure harmonized, well-sequenced, and coherent implementation. 3, timely release of county shareable revenue and enhanced drought financing from National Contingency Fund. We also appeal to the controller of budget to also help us fast-track releases of funds, especially on matters that touch on the drought intervention. Timely release of county shareable revenue and enhanced drought financing from National Government Contingency Fund. I'd said that. Seek no objection from development partners to activate emergency response windows and certain programs. These are mostly World Bank financed programs, such as the Food Security Resilience Program, FSRP, the Drive under the Horn of Africa, and the NAV CDP programs. The county governors, Treasury, and World Bank people will understand what those mean. We need to be allowed, and I think there's already conversations around that, to use, if not all, certain percentages of those funds to support response, especially in the predominantly livestock rearing counties, because the best food security measure you can help them with is really to save their livestock today. Long term, of course, we need to rethink our strategy, much as my good friend Dr. Jackson has put the blame to the powers that be in the northern and western hemisphere. Is it western or eastern hemisphere? I'm not sure this is the best time to discuss that with them. We just need to have our own local solutions. There are discussions that we're having with the Ministry of Agriculture about introduction of certain drought-resistant crops. And I know AFA, KEFIS, CALRO aligned in the introduction of things like olives and dates in that part of the country, so that at least when maybe 10 years from now, we are in a better situation than we are today. I think I'll leave it at that. Dr. Jackson, we wish you the best in your future endeavor, wherever you go to serve. And we thank you for the cooperation and collaboration that we've had with you during your stay in Kenya. I thank you all.